welcome to Voir Spoilers. I am Adam. It is Monday, which means that it is time for, what the fuck? A bird just kind of took a disgusting ass shit on my windshield. So, like I was saying before that bird rudely interrupted me, it is Monday, which means it's time for a new sale going on. Duet is available for free. Unfortunately, I did not make a quick link last night. I was busy. So if you go to bit.ly/TMRbooks, you can just scroll down to Duet, take the link, and it'll take you directly to Duet, which is available for free for this week. So if you want to do that, we're trying to push this up into the top, hopefully top 10, if not top 100 of free books available today. So that's available for free for anyone who wants to add to their library. Like I said, completely for free, no strings attached, add to your library, is available forever. So this brings us to this week's topic, Voir, I think is how you pronounce it, V-O-I-R. It's available on Netflix. And it's a new video series in which we get to view video essays, what are essentially video essays about varying topics across film history, some of the most influential moments in film history. And it seems like a cool idea. I'm not going to take that away from them. But the problem is, this isn't anything new. This is not a new concept. This is not new execution of the concept. This is not a new anything to do with this. What's it called? Anything to do with this show. It's all, what's it called? It's all been done before. Now, and that's kind of the thing. It's like video essays about film history are nothing new. Like, TCM attaches little vignettes to all of their movies about, like, the historical impact of this movie and cultural impacts and, production, trivia and things like that. It's Ben Mankiewicz, it's Alicia Malone, it's all of these, people who tell these stories and are like, here's what we do. Like, we look at, like, there's that. Then there's, like, the Criterion Collection, where if you download the Criterion app, which is available on basically any device at this point, maybe it's not on consoles, which is weird. I mean, if it isn't. At one point I was looking for it and it wasn't on the PlayStation. But you would think that they would be like, hey, let's get this onto a console who can watch it on their TV, because a lot of people use consoles as stream. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent here, but the Criterion app has these for basically every movie on there, from film historians, collected interviews from people involved in the movie, like just general things like that, make the viewing experience deeper, because it allows for, greater exploration of what the filmmaker was going for, what historians have said about the film, and all that kind of stuff. So, to do this with 25-minute at most, like, things about famous moments in cinema history, like, it's not as interesting as it could be, especially considering other channels are doing it and doing it better. It's kind of like, and the thing is, too, it's not even, like, major streamers that do this well, and they're the only ones that are being competed with. It's, you can go on YouTube, you can find a podcast, like, there are podcasts that go in deeper depth, and it's like, to say that in 20 minutes, that's enough time to really break down completely what's going on. Like, I follow, I think Studio Binders, the name of the channel. They do breakdowns of moments and breakdowns of rules of cinema and stuff like that. And they do these really informative videos, like, and their videos are they longer than, maybe they're longer than 23 minutes. I don't know. I don't remember. But either way, the point is, like, you can do these deeper dives. It's like, how did this get made? Like, they're shittier movies, but they still talk about what went into production on these movies. How did this get made? For lack of a better word. Like, and to sit here and be like, oh, well, this little 20-minute clip is going to be more than enough to fully understand what went wrong in this movie, or what went right in this movie. It's like, there have been documentaries upon documentaries about movies. There have been biopics about movies. There have been, tons and tons of explorations on some of the greatest movies of all time. Like, I would say in my lifetime, there's probably going to be an in-depth documentary about Star Wars. I'm not talking about Empire of Dreams, which is basically a 20th century putting out a look at how great we are. But, like, there's going to be an in-depth, deep documentary on the making of Star Wars. And if George Lucas doesn't have a biopic in his lifetime, that would genuinely surprise me, I think. Same thing with, like Francis Ford Coppola and all that. If there's one thing the Academy likes, it's the Academy blowing the Academy, and the Academy blowing Academy members with a biopic about someone in the Academy, like Mank and like La La Land, and all of these movies that are like, oh, it's about, it's a movie about the movies. Look at how great we are. It's okay, cool, and it's like that's basically what this movie would end up being. It's like, oh, this is what makes the cinema great. This is what makes all of this work. That kind of thing. And I feel like it's the kind of thing where doing this feels like a waste of money. Like, Netflix makes like $11 billion a month or something like that. Like, or like $100 something million a month. Like, with that money, they could do a lot to elevate voices, or do like an actual in-depth like screen class. Like, well, they could do a series from various directors and screenwriters who are active today. Like, they've worked with David Fincher before. Like, they could do like interviews and like discussions like with filmmakers about their process and about how they approach things and all of that kind of stuff. Like, there are options that would be better use of their money and time than this show, but this show is what they did instead. So I would say skip Voir, only because it doesn't, it's not something that's necessarily needed to be watched by anyone who, like, I don't know what the target audience is, because they're not even as in-depth as, say, I had the VHS as a kid of Peter Pan, and at the end of the VHS was a making-of documentary about how they made the movie, and, going into, like, how they did rudimentary motion capture, rotoscoping, for Tinkerbell, for, all of that kind of, like, cool stuff they did for this movie, where they got inspiration, and it's like, cool, like, that's more in-depth than this is, and it's like, well, there are better things, better uses of your time than watching this documentary, or this documentary miniseries, which I think if all together wouldn't even equal one feature-length documentary at the end of the day, or maybe it would. 20 minutes times 6, alright, it would. I'm not going to take that away from them. If you stacked it all into one, it would be as long as a documentary miniseries, or as a documentary feature. Which, again, probably was a way to edit this, so you could have done that. Where you just do it anthology style. Like, there was no reason why this is going to be a miniseries. At least they didn't do and go and make it, 6-hour-long episodes where it's like, alright, get on with it. So, we'll wrap up there for today. We will be back with Being the Ricardos tomorrow. We will be back with Hawkeye on Wednesday or Thursday. Also, what's it called? What was the other one we got this week? The Flash Armageddon Part 5, and there was one more. Spider-Man No Way Home, and Nightmare Alley, and maybe American Underdog. I don't know yet. But we'll be back with all of that later this week. Beware spoilers. Until then, have a great rest of your week.